One of the interesting things about who I am is that I went to college, then went to grad school, and did time in postgraduate school. And I accumulated probably close to 300 hours in all three of those venues. And in those 300 hours, I've had no math classes and only one science class. And that science class was back 50 years ago at Muscatine College, and it was earth sciences or geology. And so, by any stretch of the imagination, I have no real ability to think scientifically, at least no experience in the educational setting, and absolutely no math and no ability in the maths. But there are two people that have awakened me to at least attempt to kind of grasp or get my hands around at least some of the issues related to the sciences. The first one was Carl Sagan. I watched Cosmos when it was on television and watched it, used it in articles, used it in classes. I've used it. I mean, Carl would be proud of me. And then there was, or is, Stephen Hawking. And there's another genius, but he was or is able to express things so that even novices or beginners can at least kind of follow where he's going. And what fascinates me is that in this process of trying to understand something that I really know absolutely nothing about from academia, what fascinates me is how much I've grasped, especially because of those two men, and what they have allowed me to explore. For example, I know enough that I need to have a discussion about the Big Bang, when it occurred, 13.75 billion years ago. Interestingly, human beings, if you take that, it's hard to grasp. It's hard for me to grasp 10,000 years, but roughly 14 billion years. What does that mean? That's beyond me. And so what these scientists have done is to take that 13.75 billion years and put it into a calendar year that we're used to, 365 days. So the Big Bang occurred on the beginning of the year, and today is the last day, the last second of the year. So they condensed 14 or 13.75 billion years into what we would consider a calendar year, and they called it the cosmic calendar. Do you have any idea when human beings started to evolve based upon the calendar year or the cosmic calendar year? Humans evolved in the less than last minute and a half of the last hour of the last day of the year. For that, I mean, if the calendar is from here to there in 365 days, in the last minute and a half of that whole year, we evolved. And what intrigues me about science is it helps me to explain to students the humanities. And here we are as human beings evolving over the past minute and a half of the last hour of the last day of the year. And we think that we are, you know, the reason for everything. You know, reason for everything for the last few nanoseconds. Scientists believe that that there could be anywhere from 200 to 500 billion galaxies in this ever-expanding universe. That's a number that I don't grasp. And in some of those galaxies, there are suns that have, spinning around them, planets. And the theory is, or the estimate is, that there's probably 56 trillion planets. I have a gigabyte of hard memory on my computer, but 56 trillion, that's another number that but one of the things that I do understand is what scientists call the Goldilocks zone. The Goldilocks zone is based upon Goldilocks and the Three Bears, and when she was tasting their parts, some was too hot, and it was just like the planets. Some planets are revolving or rotating around the sun, or the whatever stars out there that they're rotating around, too close to it, so that the Earth or the planet would be too hot, and some would be rotating in orbit around that star at such a vast distance away from the star, it'd be very cold. But some are located in what is called the Goldilocks zone, not too hot, not too cold. And a professor by the name of Drake, who founded the SETI Institute to explore intelligent beings in the universe, came up with a formula to guess, a kind of informative guess, of how many possible planets would have intelligent life on them within just the Milky Way. And the estimate runs anywhere from 10 to 12,000 planets. And this article is about particularly Kepler. The Kepler star has about 8 planets within that constellation that could sustain life forms and develop potentially intelligent life forms like human beings. So whether you are into science or, like I am, only interested in science and grasping what you're able to walk away with after reading an article, I hope you enjoy this article, and I hope it makes you think about our place in this huge cosmic void out there. It raises all sorts of questions about ethics, what we should do, what we shouldn't do, how we should behave. But I hope you enjoy the article, and thank you very much for listening to this video and also reading the article. You take care.